This is our paranormal podcast because this is our paranormal community, and we want to support you here on RU Media Network. We are proud to be sponsored by the Haunted Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York. Here are your hosts, Brian Mersal and Sean Gilmore.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Welcome to our Paranormal Podcast on RU Media Network. Brian, how are you doing, brother?
Good. How are you, Sean?
Man, I am tired as
hell.
Oh, dude, you don't even know. I guess you do know. We went out to Pennsylvania for a really cool investigation at the Greene County Helms House. Is that what it's called?
Holmes House.
Holmes House. It was a like a poor farm. It's a really, really cool historic. It's a historical society, so it's just such a cool place. But I didn't get home and into bed until like 6 a.m, so I'm a little bit tired. So guys, bear with me today. We have,
and you know, like that place was really cool. But actually, Sean, like I'm looking to go someplace unique, someplace magical, like a whole new crazy location to investigate, and hopefully we could find out, you know, maybe an option like that sometime tonight.
That's exactly what we're talking about with our new guest, man. How'd you know?
What's up, everybody?
And we have my good friend Jason Emerick on from Paranormal Den, man, we have so much to talk about. A couple weeks ago, I went out with my ex-teammates, I should say, Amber and a couple other people. Actually, Austin Maynard, he's a current teammate of mine. We got to experience your newest location, A Lesson in Soul. Now, real quick, I did kind of start the show with a poster here so everyone can kind of see the prices and everything. And I just kind of popped that up again real quick. When are you able to start booking? Are you already booking? And then once we kind of get into that, we're going to revisit it again at the end. But we have a whole lot of meat in the middle of the sandwich, man. It's so much
we open up. We're going to open up March 1st. And we are going to officially start booking after the show. February 20th will be the official, of course, if anybody wanted to get in touch with me prior, we could have worked something out. But yes, tomorrow officially and publicly, I will begin to promote and advertise and share amongst the community that we're booking. And then March 1st, and forward, the place is going to be the communities.
Nice. That's awesome, dude. Look at that, man.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's such an amazing place. The activity itself can get quite overwhelming at times. It's so active there in waves. I just want everybody to experience. I was actually happy when I brought another investigator in, and they got to experience and feel what I did. And I was like, well, I'm not crazy. It was really like what I thought. And then, and so on. And then, and bringing more people in, they get to experience and the same stuff. Cause it's a roller coaster ride, throughout the place, honestly.
Dude, that place, it's the energy there. It's really crazy. Especially down in the basement. And
yes.
What can you tell us kind of about the history? Well, first of all, let's start with the beginning. Like how big is the building?
It's a little less than 8,000 square feet. I think it's like around 7,800.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. It's got about, I don't know if I had to say offhand, probably around 10 to 12 rooms. A lot of the rooms are very big. The ballroom itself is huge. I mean, you could put a couple of houses inside of it. It's got raised ceilings, so it's not your normal, area. It's a ballroom, from the 1920s. And then yeah, it's full of different. It's if you look at it construction wise, it looks like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 buildings put together, kind of. It's had a lot of different things done to it over the years. We when I first got there, within like the first week or two, me and another Mike Hatcher actually was with me the night that we discovered that there were sealed doors down in the basement that we have not even gone through yet, that we believe is an extra 500 to 800 square feet of basement that's either the old speakeasy or what, we don't know yet, but it's definitely like a vaulted basement that hasn't been seen for like 60, 70 years. That's going to be, I would assume that's why some of the energy is the way it is. And because when you get down in the basement, that's where the doors, I mean, it's like layers of brick, it's not the same. It's not natural to the construction or masonry work. They're doors that were sealed up, and I don't really know too many reasons why doors would be sealed up, but all the reasons would be negative. Why would somebody want to seal up doors? I mean, I do know that it is vaulted. I do know that there are doors there. If there's, I don't know. I mean, I'm a very sensitive medium. Shawn knows me. I don't mess around. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna stick my head out there and try to fake some shit. Excuse my language or anything. I don't have to. And I can feel it. I know there's something behind there that is just not right. What, I don't know. But yeah, there's that. It's completely different. I would say the upstairs and basement are like 2 different worlds, both very active, but just the upper levels do not coexist with the bottom levels. And there's a very dark entity spirit that is very, very, makes himself well known. He goes by the Whistler. You hear him whistle, and it's crazy. People have been scratched. People have been followed home. The people that have had rough days, or they shouldn't be there in the first place. If somebody's having a rough day or something. But that stood out to us. A lot of I've had to cleanse a couple people. They were fine afterwards, but yeah, they had things follow them home, things happen at their house. And, but yeah, it's crazy in the basement. I've documented so much, like literally hundreds and hundreds of Class A EVPs. Like when Shawn and Austin were there, we didn't experience 5 minutes the entire night that we weren't experiencing paranormal activity on some level. Like, legit.
Mm-hmm.
We were either capturing EVPs or I mean everybody was filming. It was just insane. We really couldn't keep up. I mean, I look at the footage now and you really can't keep up with. I can't put together a really, really good video. It's just all over the place. It's
Right.
just insane. It's awesome. And it's one of those places, that you're like, you don't really kind of believe it. You have to experience it. And it's awesome. It's scary, but it's awesome. I've had
What's crazy though is that was my second time going there.
Right.
And that was actually a quieter night than the first time I was there.
It was. And if it had been anywhere near the way it was when you came the first time, I guarantee nobody would have been talking down in that one room. You know how we all congregated in that one area by the furnace and stuff. Well, we were just chatting, and I really didn't pick up on anything like we did when we were more alone, and less people. But yeah, I believe that it was very different, and I believe that some of those spirits or energy just wasn't having it, as far as it's too much of a get together, and not focused more or less on them. It was it was different, but it was still, I mean, once we all did our thing and went our separate ways and started communicating and trying to collect evidence, I mean, it was there, and it didn't stop. It was there for whenever we needed it. It was there. And it was awesome because we were learning so much and we were getting direct answers. It's very intelligent. I mean, there's a whole bunch of residual energy. I have noticed the same scream every once in a while or the same footsteps, but there is a lot. There's more intelligent energy there than there is anything. And it's all either from the neighborhood or from things that have happened from inside the building. I've picked up on murder, rape. I've had them tell me very, very negative things that have happened in there. Amber picked up on pretty much the same things I was. I was actually blown away because the very first thing she said, she sat down and she's like, "You have a man here, a skinny guy." And like the first spirit I ever experienced there was the Whistler, which I seen him as a skinny man, and it tripped me out because it's just, he shows himself either as a man or like this big, I've seen him, he's just evil looking, he's either or, but yeah, that's who she saw first, and it was crazy. She picked up on the executions in the basement in the exact area where I said I felt like somebody had been murdered. It's crazy because it's been several different types of, it was a nightclub in the 70s. I've spoken to residents that won't even go in there to interview and look around just to see how it looks now and let them see the place. They won't even step foot in it because they were scared. They won't go in the basement. I'm like, "Hey man, you guys got to come down here and look at this basement. Tell me what you guys think was this door," ask them questions. But I've gotten a couple things. One guy took me where he saw the actual still. There was a still a long time ago down in that basement, and he showed me where it was and where he remembered being taken down there. And it was very vague, but yeah, I mean, there's lots of negative stories. The women's bathroom, the picture that's behind all of us right now is actually the old women's bathroom where we did seance, and we've communicated to many different energies in that room and watched meters like go crazy in there. Shawn? That stuff was just insane. And that room, it's like all sounds just get sucked out. And you could hear a pin drop if something happened, and you get like the barometric pressure will go up, your ears start popping, and you feel like you're walking underwater a lot in that room, and it's crazy. But that's one of the reasons why I do what I do in there. But yeah, it's the whole place is just, I mean, I could go on. I mean, it's amazing.
And it really is. And it seems like whenever we bring up or ask about what is behind the sealed in doors, and you can see, especially in the lower part of the basement where you go into where the speakeasy was, you could actually see there's a doorway that is bricked up. And to me, it's easier to see it there than, because I don't have a trained eye. For my day job, I don't have anything to do with construction. But then when you go into where you're actually doing the drilling into the wall, you could see the layers there. So they're
Yep.
definitely there. And it's definitely affecting things, the digging into the history. Now, along with the history of this building, with all the different things that it's been, you said it was like a dance club
Yeah.
at some
Yep.
point, and a construction company and some other businesses. So it's got all of that history throughout all the years, but the neighborhood that it's in, it's got a dark history too. It's just
Yeah.
continually has dark things happening around it, and it's really I think it adds to the building, and I think that building has a big role in the history of the neighborhood.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a beacon or almost like a haven almost for a lot of those spirits to join in or to be a part of. It's a whole new world as far as how put together the different layers of spiritual energy is. Like I mean, you literally drive around the block and there are teddy bears everywhere where people have been murdered.
Mm.
I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. It's very safe. We've never had anything happen. I mean, there are businesses that have been in business for 50 years up like right next to our place that have never been touched. I mean,
There's like
it's
a flower shop right in the corner there, and
yeah, I mean,
it's
but there's the house across the street. There were two murders in 2011. The lady that lives across the street as well, 6 months ago, her son was murdered. So she moved away from the house that her son was murdered in to the house across the street from our building. A week after that, her mother that moved in with her passed away. She's still there. I've actually been in all these houses. I don't live too far down on the left. 1 month prior to me moving in, two females died of overdoses in the same night prior to me getting the house. And there's a woman that no longer lives there, but another house. These are all houses right next to each other across the street from the location. The one house, a female was jumping out of the second floor window, being pushed. Just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And
yeah. Well, this
it's
is
just,
full
yeah, go
disclosure.
ahead.
It is inner city, right, of Akron.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of it comes from. City Akron does have its rough spots and its rough times. And Akron has a crazy history of its own.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah, I mean, with that, I mean, I've been there twice, parked my car there, had no problem there. It's a nice open parking lot, so I felt completely fine. I walked out to my car a couple of times. I didn't feel any sort of way.
And I'm
So,
friends with the APD. They're all over the place out here. And they are there in a split second. So I mean, I don't feel unsafe. I mean, yeah, if you're putting yourself out there in any area, you can get hurt or just be in the wrong place. But yeah, it's comfortable. I love it here. It's I don't think the building would be what it is without being where it is. So,
right.
this is what happens when all this just intertwines, I believe. So,
Right.
it's like a perfect storm almost, and it's
I
awesome.
can't wait for you to confirm the history and a lot of the things in that building that we've picked up on and based on the activity.
Yeah, and I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to wait as long as I can before I go downtown and get like all the public records and everything, because I want to see how much we get that is real, way before I find out, because I've done a lot of interviews and a lot of the interviews they're all saying the same thing. So I believe that we're going to find pretty much, what we're hearing. There's a lot of evidence that there was really dark Well, Shawn, it was talking a lot about a temple, real dark religious angles that it was trying to hint at. Like the one spirit down there was considering that area his temple.
Yep.
And it's real intricate. It's almost like a prison or not. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. But it's almost like there's something that's controlling all of that, and right now, and you know what? I was thinking about it yesterday. I told my girl, I was like, you know what? It's really weird that I have not gotten through that wall yet because I have everything to do it. It's not like it's hard, it's not hard at all. And I still haven't. I mean, it's only 4 layers of brick, and I'm the type of person that when I, do something, I try to get it done then. I don't want to wait and then do it later. I want to get it done now. And the one thing that I've been putting off is getting through that wall just enough to where I could put a camera in and just to validate that there is something in there, and it's like, what is maybe stopping me subconsciously from, keeping me from, because it's odd to me. I was just throwing that out there that I was thinking about that. I'm like, man, why haven't I gotten through that wall yet? It's like, but yeah, I'm doing that really soon. I'm like, yeah.
It's like, I think somebody or something there has a secret and they're afraid of you finding out what it is. Now, will you find out what it is just by going through that wall? Who knows? But whatever secret this entity or person, spirit is trying to protect happened, I believe, behind those walls at the very least. So
Yeah.
I think that it really doesn't want you getting through there. And based on experiences I've had from doing private investigations and other things, spirit can control and manipulate. Like, so it could help unmotivate you to go and try and get through that.
Correct.
Wall. It can try and just distract you also with other things, other thoughts, feelings, things happening in your personal life. Who knows? All just for the strong enough entity. And I think that based on our experiences there, it is a strong enough entity to do that.
Yeah. And, it's, I know you've experienced it, but when we were down there in that basement, when it hits you, well, I'm talking, when I say it, I'm talking about the evil presence, the darkness, or whatever's down there doing whatever. When it comes, I get sick to my stomach. My body reacts crazy, and I can't handle it long. Like I really have never liked or enjoyed doing all night investigations because I'm drained on the 4th hour, and I can't help it. I've always been that way. It's just, but everything's always intense around me though too. But when I'm there and I get hit, it's very overwhelming. So I know I won't put myself, and when I'm working down there, it's very hard to work because I'm being affected, whether I want to pay attention or not. I get real sick to my stomach. It's like being hit with straight EMF, where you kind of get real lightheaded and it's just nuts. You can feel it jittering through your whole body. And yeah, it's very intense down there for me, and a lot of people, because everybody experiences that. I have not had one person. I'm not saying everybody will, because even though it was toned down a little bit the last time you were there, Shawn, absolutely everybody experienced something, and it was, it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes, we will get a place for the weekend and not experience but 1 or 2 things, or maybe even nothing, and it's not like that here. It's the story is just trying to be heard so much. I mean, there's just so much of it. It's just, I mean, I was there earlier, and for an hour, we finished cleaning the ballroom, and man, we went down in the basement, and when I came up from the whole experience of communicating and stuff, this loud breath or hiss, I haven't reviewed it, but it's going to be insane because our son was recording, and I was like, well, every time I come up here and close this door, I capture something. And as I'm just getting done saying that, this loud breath or hiss or something, all three of us heard it. It was really loud, and I know we captured it. It was just nuts, right by that basement door, Shawn, there was that big latch too. Did you see that? Where it looks like they used a bar or something to keep things from coming up. That was nuts. I had just discovered that night, it was crazy. It was like they would keep things in the basement that, or imprison things in the basement. I don't know, but it was just an odd way to lock a door. It was like one of those huge latches. I don't know.
Right. What? It's like, why would they have that? Like, what are they trying to keep from coming?
Yeah, it's like something you would put on the outside of a big refrigerator or something like that. And it was just very, very odd. And that's that door or that little area right there is just insane for disembodied voices and EVPs. It's crazy.
It really is. Well, here you gave me some clips to send. I was trying to find some photos that I could share of those.
See, I didn't know this was a video, or I would have sent you more. I can send you the thermal of where the figure.
I have the video that you posted. Did you get the original from Amber?
I did not. I tried. We were supposed to link up, but no, I haven't. Not yet.
Okay. Let me see something here. Did she quickly? Well, here, while I do this, I have the three clips that you sent me ready, and I'll go ahead and play the first one, and we'll go from there.
Why were you crying, sir? The Whistler. Did you hear that? I swear to God.
Okay, that was crazy.
Yeah. What's crazy is I'm the one that named the Whistler. So it's referencing something that it picked up because it never said that before. And that's what I thought was even crazier. It's stating what I call it. It never said that before. I didn't hear it and then start calling it that. I named it that. That's what's crazy.
And now
it is crazy.
Yeah, and now it's intelligently coming through on devices.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So here's another one. I didn't have any sound on that. That was weird. It didn't upload with sound. Let me try it again. See if there's an option I missed here. Well, I could see it says you're not nice, but for some reason this video doesn't have sound. Huh.
Well, you were able to talk over it.
And I was able to talk over it.
And you weren't able to talk over the first one because it says everyone's muted.
Right. Here. Well, here, I don't know what's going on with that. So here's another video. You'll get to see a little bit more, it looks like, of the inside of the building. Yeah, now we don't have sound. What's up with that? And how come?
It had sound when I know it was. I made sure before I sent it.
Well, let me go back to the first video.
Why were you crying, sir?
See, that one has. Why did these must have just downloaded weird? Let's
try that last one that I sent you.
Yeah, I just uploaded that one here. This is a Amber got in the basement. Oh, it's processing. Here we go. If not, I could start playing it from other things instead of trying to upload it to StreamYard. Here we go.
That's crazy. I see something moving back there.
Yep.
Wow, I see it moving. It's like real fast. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. He was moving all over the place.
Play it again.
That's crazy. I see something moving back there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wow, I see it moving. It's like real fast. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. He was moving all over the place.
I mean, it's like a full blue cold figure back there.
That's crazy. I see something moving back there.
Yep.
Just a tall blue cold figure back there.
Wow, I see it moving. It's like real fast. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. He was moving all over the place.
So, yeah, I mean, this has all sorts of. Here, I'm going to try and just play this a different way. Because yay, StreamYard for technology.
That disembodied voice is amazing, though. That you're trying to play.
Well, here I'm trying to play. Let's see here. I can actually pull that one up too. Here, it's this one. Okay, just give me a second. We'll get this to play, guys. We're just going to go share screen. All right. Yay to live entertainment here, guys. All right. So we're going to go here. Let's see what we're looking at. Okay, yep, that's it. Okay. And where'd it go? So weird. Is it working? It's not. See, now what's weird is, okay, here it is. I need to invest in a second monitor. Here we go. Again, no sound.
Oh, it's muted on the thing. On the bar to the right. The bottom middle bar on the right, it's got it muted.
This?
Yeah. Is it muted?
No. Now it is. No, it's not.
That's crazy, man. That's
Do you hear it? It's just all you
no,
hear.
I
is the
don't. I
video.
don't hear it.
If you,
No.
it's there. Here, it's got to be very quiet. I don't know why it's playing so faintly, but it is playing very faintly.
Maybe for you, but it's not coming through.
Let me try this.
No.
I'm hearing it very faintly. Maybe it's just because it's on my computer.
Yeah.
Sean, I just sent you another one. If you want to skim through it and get towards the end, it has EVPs and it shows a little bit of the basement. I don't know if the whole video went through or not, but
Let me try this.
that's weird. You're not getting the sound.
It's interesting.
Very interesting, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to try this again.
I mean, I got YouTube links if that's easier.
Yeah.
You could probably try that if you want. Oh.
Try it. Like, I don't know why it's not working. That's so weird. Okay, so you said you have it on YouTube, because I could definitely do a YouTube also. Well, here, let's do this. This one's a good one. I remember this one. And I'll try this one more time. And
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah, it's not coming through.
Well, all that's in those YouTube videos, Shawn, that I just sent you.
it's so weird that it's not working. Okay, so let's go to YouTube. Just if you go. All right, so we got it here.
How many people are in this room? 18. Is that what that said?
Does it sound like either 18 or 15?
That's sad. Do you hear that sadness? Who is crying? I heard a guy crying. Why were you crying, sir? The Whistler. Did you hear that? I swear to God, it just said the Whistler. Who is the Whistler? Wow, I have chills.
This is crazy.
Fuck. That was insane. Who's the Whistler? Me. Wow.
It's the door, huh?
Wow. Inside.
What's in here?
Stays with me.
Where you going?
These are straight
that
EVPs
help?
right here.
Yeah.
I just heard a voice, I think.
That's insane.
Remember, I told you about those little lights.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a voice. Okay. Wow. So definitely a lot going on there.
Yeah, when it was like the Whistler, it's me.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that's some nut stuff.
It really is. Man, now I'm kind of, so I don't know. Maybe it's just not translating for some reason from, because this is all from Facebook Messenger. So maybe the videos are translating well between those two programs, but YouTube is always plays well where I can share those. But I have another clip from, we did like a little seance, and then after the seance, Jason was using a box that Austin Maynard built for me. And I have that clip here where it's just like you can hear the interaction and just kind of see, and actually it's the picture that's in the background kind of like in action. So that's really why I wanted to share.
Because that's where you did the seance.
Yes.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so let's see if we can get this one to work, and then let's see where are we at with time. Oh wow, okay, and go from there. All right, so let's try this. Okay, so this one, sorry guys. It should be what? You know what's weird? It's not even showing on here. It's not letting me.
Oh, before I forget, and while we're not doing much,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I want to let all your listeners know that right now and until Wednesday, if they mention that your show, they will get $50 off our set price of $400 on weekend nights, which would make it $350 per night. And then the weekdays, it would go from I think it's $300 to $250 a night. So for weekday nights. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there and let your listeners know that they got a discount.
That's so perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
you're welcome. Yeah, that's awesome. So guys, if man, all you that are listening right now, and maybe we can catch a recent replay. Maybe you can get a discount.
Yep. Just mention the show and maybe what you liked about it. But yeah, just mention the show and I'll get you $50 off. And just message me directly and we'll get you going.
Thank you. So when people order it, is it like a ticket that they can say, or like do you have to have a specific date?
They will when they go to book, they can either book with a deposit or they can pay full price, and they they pick their date. As long as it hasn't been booked, it's theirs. And then we will send them an email confirmation that shows what we did as far as the booking process, the financial aspect, and everything. And we just stay on the same page that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I'm thinking like if people they get excited about this, they want to put their down deposit, but they're not too sure like what date it's going to fit in this year. I didn't know if that was an option for them to give you like $350 and then.
Yeah, I'm not the type of person that won't work with somebody, so, message me and there might be something we can do to get you the date that you're looking to get, and
perfect.
Because I want people here, I don't want it to be that part of it to be an issue, it's so, yep.
So we have a question here from our chat. Tammy Petty is asking, so do they prefer to make contact through EVPs or through K2 yes or no questions?
Yeah, go ahead, Shawn. I'll let you answer that one.
Well, I mean, you could tell with what we're showing here that most of the interaction is through EVP. But also keep in mind, this place is still kind of virgin territory.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't see, I'm a communicator, and when I get off the paranormal bus and go into a location, I'm running in full steam with my radio, and that's it. And I don't do anything else. I don't even think about anything else. So like, this is all new, I know what I've experienced and what I've felt, and I want people in there with the visual stuff and stuff that I don't have or stuff I don't even think about because I know it's there. I mean, with what little bit we did have, and threw at it, such as the thermal. I mean, we got hits on every single piece of equipment except the dog. Every single thing, because we had a dog that would light up and to EMF and stuff, and that is literally the only piece of equipment that we set up that night that didn't go off, and we were actually surprised that it didn't. when we set up the REM pod and we communicated and asked them to show themselves visually, whether it be through the light or through sound by making it go off, whatever, it did. And it did very well. I mean, there were times when it would light up and we would say, back away. It would stop doing it. It was like they were it just validated the intelligence, and that we were dealing with on pretty much the entire time, so yeah, I mean, the visual stuff, it's, there's just as much there, because if you have the right type of equipment, I'd imagine you would see a lot more stuff, because you can feel it, the air pockets and stuff, the cold spots are insane. You can literally feel them rolling down your arms. I've seen the hair on my arms move like somebody was touching them before. It's awesome. And it's definitely a place where, whatever type of research that you enjoy to conduct, you're going to probably catch some stuff. I can't tell you for sure that everybody's going to see something or capture something, but there's a high probability, and that's what that place offers. It's just pretty much, it's nonstop. I mean, when I got there today to work, I've been trying to clean up the place a little bit more, and when I walked in, every time I unlock the door, I turn my camera on, because like I said, it's literally nonstop. As soon as I walk in the door, it starts, and sure enough, we open the door and I walk in 10 feet, and it's me and two other people, and we hear a young man talking, and it was so loud that I actually thought it was my 14-year-old son who was with us, whispering, kind of like joking. And I was like, Wyatt, is that you talking? It looked like, like it just sounded like him. And sure enough, it was nobody. And it was just loud, like some guy just talking right in the middle of us. And it was just nuts. And, from the very first minute. And it's awesome. But it's just one of those things.
Has there ever been like a lead up, or is it just always boom, boom, boom?
Well, yeah, there certain like the Whistler. There's a lead up to him, because sometimes, I don't even think Austin or anybody really got to experience that side of the location, because it's the dark side. It's definitely it's the only place that I've ever been, and I'm known for 1,000 square foot location, pitch darkness, finding the crappiest flashlight that's probably going to go out on me, and go into it, and go to the end and face whatever I come across. And this is the only place that I've ever been that's I've still not stayed the night there, and I don't like to be in there alone, and like it's and I hate being that honest, because of what I do and what I've done, and how much I want to go down there by myself, but it's not safe unless you really, I mean, not saying that I wouldn't be fine, but I suggest that when people, they get used to it first, I wouldn't just go down there and be like, I'll be fine, because you definitely have to get used to it a little bit. And I do suggest that, when groups are there, that they go down with somebody. And, I'm going to walk everybody that comes through that door. I'm going to give them exactly what I give everybody else. And that's the utmost respect. And I'm going to let my home be their home. But there are people and things that live in that home that they have to know that, when they stay there, that they have to all coexist with while they're there. And you have to know it's very intricate. And if you taunt or anything, you get in a lot of trouble. And it's just, I just want people to be safe, but to experience it, because there's that dark side is, you can learn from it. It's insane how much we've learned as far as what's behind the wall, or what we feel is behind the wall, because of how much that darkness tries to protect it and you get answers through all that anger sometimes. And yeah, it's a place that that you have to heed every warning, and take caution. But it's there to experience, and it's safe if you stay safe, and be responsible at it. So, but the upstairs is a little different. The approach, you can go at it like any other place, but before you walk downstairs in the basement, I'm going to walk you through and tell you the stories and let you feel what it feels like down there before everybody sets up stuff but yeah,
Makes sense.
it's gonna be cool. I can't wait to see what people capture there. It's gonna be pretty amazing. And I don't live too far, so there's not anything, or I can't not be there within 5 minutes, if somebody needs me to come down. And I love doing this stuff, so I'm there if they want me to stay there for, it don't matter. I'm whatever. We'll make it the best experience possible.
I can attest for the energy that's in that place, and it is definitely overwhelming at times, and especially in certain areas. I felt it mostly in the area over where that thermal hit was captured, and where a lot of the from that last video what we were playing in that one room there, where where he's doing the drilling. So it's intense, and we did get intelligent interaction with my the tripwire that I have, and each sensor on the tripwire does have a individual sensor, and they can't all go off at the same time. It's and it's let off just like one light at one point, and it's let off the whole strand. And that's actually kind of the clip that I'm waiting to play here, so people can see it's not just EVPs, and it does interact.
And it's like, and it's like you're teaching, and it should be, we were like coaching whatever energy we were working with, and how to interact or show us that they're doing what we want them to do. At first we would only get 1 or 2 lights, and then we're like, look, that's awesome, keep doing it, go down the light, or go down the wire. And sure enough, it does. I mean, it did. It was awesome. We had one in the seance room, or in the the background of what we're watching here. In that room there, we had something come out of what we thought was the mirror, hit one detector, another one, and then hit the detector on the door. So it made it look like something was leaving the mirror in the direction that the meters were getting hit. It was crazy. Everybody in the room saw it, and you kind of felt it too. It wasn't just it was almost like a big burst of energy at the same moment. And Shawn captured that too on film. We were actually trying to look for that and get that specific moment prior to the show, and we didn't, but it's insane. Yeah, it's crazy.
I have the timestamp somewhere. It's just not readily available here where I'm at now. I thought I sent it to you, but it's not in the messages that I sent.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's so weird. I don't know what the. I don't know. I'm now looking to see. I'm like, it's got to be here. But this clip here that I have ready, you do see them go off, and you kind of do see where we're at. I'm in the one corner, and Jason is using my black obsidian box, which has a black obsidian scrying mirror on it. And here, it's just kind of an interesting experience that we
I mean, there was a lot coming through. It was just awesome. I mean, you guys could probably hear some of the stuff that we didn't. Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm just gonna start it here. a little bit before the first lights go off.
What am I gonna find?
Is there money back there?
Okay, so I just have to say this. When me and him were down there talking about that wall, we started asking, like, what is there back there? Are there bodies or something?
You see that?
Just went off.
Yeah.
And it was like basically avoiding answering the question. Like, we
That's
kept
what they
trying,
keep
right?
doing.
It was
It doesn't like it when we talk about what's
Why
behind
are
the
you
wall.
avoiding that question? What's behind that damn wall?
No, it did say you'll see.
Yeah.
Remember, it did say that.
And then we think we captured like something like 80 feet or something like concrete.
So just a couple things to point out here, because people are going to look at this and they're going to think, well, yeah, they have a radio going, they have all these cameras going. Well, here's the thing. These tripwires are up this whole entire time, and this is the only time that they went off.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't go off again. I mean, this clip here is 8 minutes long. I'm not going to sit here and play the full 8 minutes. I mean, honestly, the whole time during this 8 minutes, there is interaction that we're getting, and we're discussing kind of everything. And this place is just so intense. Even where you go, where we were at, anyways, for the safe room, you can feel the energy of this location. And it's just such a neat place to experience. And the fact that there's unanswered questions that teams go in there can actually help answer. And,
Right.
And then as time goes on and there's more evidence, then Jason, you said that you're going to start actually looking for the history.
Checking the history, yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that I'm trying to approach it from our aspect, from the researchers aspect with this location, and let us figure it out prior to any, like, let's do it the right way, or is I don't know. There might not be a right way, but let's do it the way I think that we could approach it just differently. And I think it just brings a whole different aspect, and it's cool too. I mean, all the stuff that we're gonna be able to fill in a lot of blanks with the stuff that we're getting. I guarantee it, because it's all matching up. It isn't like I'm going down there and then an hour later Shawn goes down there and gets something completely different. Everything's along the same lines, and everything's along the same type of communication and the same point that they're trying to get across. And it's like that for everyone. So we're gonna have some pretty cool things that we're gonna bring to the table. I'm definitely gonna put up dry erase boards for guests, like if they're get some names that we didn't get, or maybe they can match up with the past investigators or something. I want it to be a community driven project in that sense. Like, let's figure this out together, and let's see what we get along the way. And I think it can be life changing. It's just intense thing to experience, especially for somebody that doesn't experience a lot of paranormal activity. I've had them in there already, and they just thought it was the world. They had never experienced anything like that, and it was just, it's awesome, because when I was feeling it, they were feeling it, and it's cool. It's not something that Dan's gonna feel next to me and I'm not. It's everybody in that environment, whatever is there, is gonna let you know that you're in the room with it. It's awesome. And yeah. Sorry, I get sidetracked talking about the place. It's awesome.
No, man. I mean, I mean, the fact that you're this excited about it is just shows what a treasure this is.
Yeah, and Shawn, I gotta go confirm something real quick. So can I have like 2-3 minutes real quick? You guys obviously keep talking.
Oh, I thought you were about to have me play the intro.
Soon. 1 second.
Okay. All right then. So, man, it's to open a location like this and to get everything ready. It's got to be pretty intense. What all have you had to do to get the location ready for
Oh
people?
man. Well, I mean, off and on, we've been at it. Well, I mean, I've done a lot there. Since September. I got the keys in September, and I've slowly been working on it since. I try to gather as much evidence as I can every time I'm in there, even if I'm working. So I'm working and gathering evidence at the same time. But as far as doing what's right for everyone, we had some leaks in the roof that we had to repair. One in the ballroom that was pretty bad. I actually just got that one fixed officially last week, so that's awesome. So we had leaks, the roof to repair, lots of cleaning. There was stuff sticking out of the walls, hanging from the ceilings that we had to take down. Yeah, I mean, it's just it might not seem like a lot, but the place is just so big and so full, or was so full of stuff, because we just got done cleaning it. Well, removing most of the stuff. That it's a process. I have one more main thing that we're trying to, well, that I will accomplish this week. I'm getting scaffolding. I will be insulating some areas that in the ceiling, and then once I insulate them, I will drywall mud, and then I will also be putting soundboards on them to eradicate any outside noise, and anything. It doesn't matter. So yeah, lots of just small staging stuff now. But yeah, we've I mean, it's a lot more goes into it. There's so much stuff. I mean, hanging up pictures and all the stuff that we've been gathering from auctions and stuff, and my haunted objects, and the dolls, the mirrors, and everything. That's all putting it together and trying to figure out what I want to do and how I want the place to present itself to people when they first walk in. And it still isn't quite finished as far as that goes, but we're almost there. It's going to be pretty awesome when the first guest on March 1st or after walks in and sees the place for the first time. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, it really is, man, and I'm still excited about what's behind these walls. And so as time goes on, how can we follow you and the updates with you getting through the walls?
Well, I did create a Facebook page. I just haven't went live with it. So in the next day or so, tomorrow actually, I'll probably go live with that. What I'll do is I can post it in the comments to this link, a direct on the Facebook page to this show. With a link for the Facebook page. For right now, until then, you can communicate with me directly, which you will be anyways throughout the entire process, at least for now. So you can contact me directly as well, Jason Emerick, either privately or even through my Facebook page, Paranormal Den. Just message me.
All right. And you said if people mention this show that they get to save some money.
That's correct. They'll get $50 off our price of $400 on the weekend nights, and $50 off the weekday nights, which is it goes from $300 to $250. So yeah, they'll get some money. They'll money saved, and they'll get one of the most intense and amazing experiences that our community has to offer right now. I mean, I love it. It's amazing. I mean, I this isn't the first time I've done this, Shawn. I've opened up and had other locations. I've worked with the Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory. I've worked at the slaughterhouse out in Medina. I've done a lot of different things and been a lot of unique and cool places. And this place is no joke. It's one of those places, and people, this will get popular fast. I mean, it's not going to be something that you just hear about on this show. It's going to be something that's going to snowball, and people are going to be fighting for days, I would imagine, eventually, because it's crazy. It's awesome, because once evidence starts pumping out and other groups are like, man, look at this, look what we experienced, and start that's it. That's the good stuff right there. That's when we see what the place is all about for everybody, and that's what I want. So, yeah.
Definitely. And teams are going to come out and they're going to make documentaries with their findings, and they're going to do their history research too. And it'll be cool to see what they find and how everything all coincides and everything falls into place. That's what's so cool about new locations like this. And I love the way that you're doing this, giving people an opportunity to investigate and having multiple people investigate, because people bring in different methods, they bring in different equipment and different energies, right? And each group will bring in, or hopefully get, different answers and different different evidence, and bring in and hopefully have more to compare with the history that's found. So I for one like the way that you're doing it, since you're just opening. But in the next couple of after probably the next year or so, the history is really going to be coming to fruition. And it's going to be, man, I want to be around for all of it, man. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing freaking trip, dude.
There's just so many secrets that are there that, even if, I don't know, it's just going to be cool, because when I get through that wall and see what I think is there, even if it's empty space, it will confirm a lot of things from that place. There's actually a building next door to us that is ours too, but the city is we don't really own the building, we own the lot. So the city has plans on tearing it down, but I kind of want to get in there, because the brick building that's connected to one of the buildings on that side, I want to see if there's maybe a sealed door in that building where, because a lot of speakeasies would run alcohol from the location next door, but through the basement and a tunnel. So I'm trying to I'm not saying that that's what I'll find, might not find anything, but there's just a lot of secrets and things that, I feel maybe like Indiana Jones did in a way, or, it's a lot of adventure, and stuff, that, not a lot of people get to experience, and it's still there, it's not something that's been touched, or there could be bodies back there, there could be money, there could be we don't know. I mean, it could just be dirt. I have no idea.
It's your own personal Goonies adventure, and we need more of those.
Yes,
we do. We need more.
There's not many left.
I know.
Yeah. And I am definitely going to have the paper, the newspaper there, probably the local news, when everything comes to an end, especially with the wall down in the basement and what we find. It's gonna be cool, because a lot of this is going to happen when groups are there, and it might be someone specific that's camping there overnight that discovers that the key that we've been that it fills in the blank of everything, and that's all it's going to take. It's just the right individuals in there, and with the right stuff, and it's gonna be awesome to be able to do it with everyone.
Right, they're gonna come in there with the right mindset and ask the right questions.
I meant to before I forget. I don't want to forget. We do have a living quarters area. that we are setting up. It has a bed, some couches, fridge. We have bathroom with running. Well, we have running water. I'm trying to think. We got heat, Wi-Fi for going live and everything, and setting up like Wi-Fi cameras. And I wanted it to be as comfortable as possible. For everybody. I just wanted to hint at you're not going to come there and have to sleep on the floor or anything. Yeah, I just wanted to touch that aspect too, that we have plenty of places for people to crash if they're tired before they hit the road. And I do not care if you get there around 1, 2 p.m. The day of, and you can stay until noon the next day. I have no problems with people after investigation and resting, or if you just want to hang out and wind down a little bit. You are more than welcome. I'm not trying to kick you out. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on all that.
All right, and actually, while I was gone, Jason, Shawn has talked so much about this location. We've been in talks and everything. Just had to confirm real quick. Your Paranormal, which is one of Shawn's groups, our groups, etc. We want to be the first ones that give you a down payment on an investigation. So as soon as this show ends, whatever payment system that you use, we want to get it to you. I don't have a date right now, but look, I can't talk to my entire team to get a date. But what I can tell you is that the excitement's been building since Shawn's been building this up. It's been building this entire podcast. I hope this is something for other people to take notice of, but we absolutely want to be the first, and we want to start this ball rolling. So,
well, hey man, I can't even express how grateful I am to even be on the show. I'm grateful for all of it. I appreciate everything that the community has done for me and my family. And this is just me trying to give back. And, I cannot express it enough. I hope that you guys come here and have the greatest time. And yeah, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
We're going to. Let's do it. Now, one more thing, Jason. I got a wonderful, wonderful treat for you. Okay?
Yeah.
I got a treat for you too, Brian. I got it fixed. With all the other IT issues we got going, are we ready for it? Because I'm excited. It's been like 2 shows. The past 2 shows, I've been able to play this, but I got this fixed amongst all the other problems we had.
Let's do it.
Let's see it.
Let's do it.
He says in my new book,
the doors kept opening.
You should trust your instincts.
Go for it.
This is crazy, isn't it?
Did it cut off there at the end for everyone else, or?
I think I got it all.
Okay, perfect. That's right. So it is time for the interview section of the podcast. It fixed. It's fine. Look, this is the section where we ask you 13 fast fire questions, and you get to answer them as quickly and as thoroughly as possible. Are you ready, my friend?
Yeah. Let's do
Let's
this.
hit it.
All right. So all eyes on you, brother.
Let's do it. I'll give you number 1 and number 13 as a reference. Number 1, what's your favorite piece of paranormal equipment to use besides yourself?
I would have to a radio, AM/FM radio.
Gotcha. Now, how do you describe these events being like scary and awesome to someone who isn't in the paranormal field?
How do I explain it?
Yeah, because they're like, okay, listen, some events can be scary, some could be awesome, but I just don't understand how they could both be.
I just relate it to people, because a lot of we're all cut from the same cloth. There are angry people, there are good people, and however you would deal with them in an emotional or a sensitive sense is how I approach first and foremost to any spiritual energy that I encounter.
Gotcha. Now, a spirit can make you feel unmotivated to do certain things like unsealing the doors. What other things, if you're describing this to people again, like a paranormal 101, what other things can spirits actually make you do and feel?
Well, they can actually, and they can, you can feel their pain. I know I'm an highly empathic, and I've actually felt death. You know, it just depends on how sensitive you are. There's a whole wide range of things that they can make you feel. I've cried and not even known while I was crying. There's lots of things and ways that your own sensitivity can channel that energy from any environment, and that's the way it has for me.
Gotcha. Now, can you describe for everyone on the podcast the feeling you will have when you actually unseal the sealed up door?
That I will have
Yeah.
the feeling of excitement because I actually accomplished it, but I feel like I am going to be sad as well because of the spirits that are attached to behind the wall, because there are some that have communicated that, and just it's a good, you know, I'll be joyful, but it's almost because they're gonna be free. I feel, but I feel like a whole bunch of emotions, but mostly sad and excited. I would say.
That's so cool. Now, listen, we were all interested in the thermal video that was shown. Who do you think was that tall, like, well, not blue, but like in thermal, blue figure that was like really fast? Who do you
Um,
think that was?
hmm. I know there's several spirits there that like that area, and that's a real heavy area for EMF spikes and everything. I wanted to say that was the Whistler, but I don't know because of how many spirits frequent, because that's like a little highway right there for them. But I don't know. We were real deep in trying to communicate with the energy that was imprisoning whatever the good energy down there. So I don't know. I want to believe that was what we were seeing, but I can't say for sure.
I gotcha. Well, hopefully that's one of the answers that you get, moving forward. Um, so you talk about having to cleanse people at the location. Can you give us the three most important parts of cleansing someone?
Yes, be confident in what you're doing. That's empowerment is the biggest, and I mean, I couldn't suggest that enough. Knowing that you're going to help cleanse that individual or even yourself, and is the biggest part of it. And what you're saying or what you're thinking or however you're conducting that process, make sure you're doing it right, because if you're not, it's not going to work. Make sure you have the right tools to make sure that you're successful in what you're trying to accomplish, because that's no joke. That's not something that you want to mess around with. And if you can't do it, um, try to find somebody that can, because it doesn't work always for those that don't understand everything about it. But yeah, just be empowered with yourself, and be confident, and you'll get it done.
Gotcha. Now, look, there's people that want to purchase and save haunted locations. Sometimes when they've been in the field for a while, they're also looking to save a location and pour some passion and resources into it. Can you just give us maybe like one or two tips to, finding the right location that you can save and pour resources into?
Um, I always go by my intuition when it comes to anything. I actually we live, like I said, not too far down the road from this place, and we've lived by this for 3, 4, going on 4 years, and well, 3 years prior to me ever like going in down there for anything. And one day I just felt the urge, like I wanted to talk to the person, which I thought was the owner of the property, and it happened to be. And I just, I went with it. Go with your gut. Go with that intuition. If you're, just like you are at a location and you get that weird sense, or your spidey sensors start kicking in, you pay attention to those. Do the same thing. That's how I did it. It was really a spiritual thing, and it usually is. The connection that I have with either a location or a place specifically is typically connected with by spiritual energy in some way. And that's what I always tried to, well, that's how I followed that, and how I've always the slaughterhouse in Medina, I contacted him because I felt like that was just going to be one of those places too, and it just happened to be. I went with it, and I always try to follow my instinct. I try to, again, be confident in myself and in my instincts. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just trusted. I felt like there was something in there that had something to say. And it turns out that I was actually seeing visions 3 weeks prior of the Whistler at a place where I was working. So it was almost like I was meant to be there, or I was shown things that were of there that I hadn't experienced yet. It was just weird. It's just, following my intuition, and the steps that I feel like I have to take. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Now, obviously this is going to be open to private investigations, and you give them the tour, and someone raises their hand and they say, Jason, what are the 3 biggest hot spots of this location? Like, we're so excited, we want to know like where to put static cams or something. What are the 3 biggest hot spots of this location?
Well, the basement. There's that doorway right where the figure that we see on that camera, or what we think is a figure on that camera, is located right there in that doorway. You could pretty much use any of the things that you suggested right there, and have a pretty good shot at least having energy frequent that area to capture something right there. And then let me see. I would say probably at the bottom of the steps where it leads into the room that has the door, that whole general area. And then upstairs, probably right outside the seance room, there's like a long stretch of area, and it's like a skinny area, and that whole, you hear footsteps and scratches and all kinds of weird stuff, and physical stuff that you don't get as much of in other places. Sometimes rocks and stuff you even hear being hit in the ground. I think Shawn experienced that with me that night. But yeah, probably. And let's see, one more. Probably in the seance room, because there's a lot of cold spots and stuff in there, and you feel them moving around you. So but we've captured things in every we've captured things coming out of and crawling on the ceiling in the very beginning with our night vision camera. So I think that someone personally could set up anywhere, as long as they had a nice field range of vision with whatever equipment they're using, and capture something, or have a high probability of capturing something.
I got you. Now, when you're talking about the history and all the things that are going on, some people are like, oh my gosh, there's an entity that's scratching people. Do you think that's separate from the Whistler, or could it be a possibility that they're the same, that the Whistler is scratching individuals?
I feel like there's other things there, or that were once human, that are almost like the Whistler's bodyguards, or were in life maybe too. I don't know, but I think there's more than one there, but they're all extensions of the Whistler, if that makes sense. And the scratches and everything, whether it be the Whistler specifically, is in the name of the Whistler, if that makes sense. So I just feel like maybe there are other entities or other spirits there that just are part of that. But yeah, it's the Whistler. There's no doubt in my mind that whatever is going on as far as the negative construct down there in that basement, it revolves around whatever the Whistler feels like is necessary to do down there, or to protect, or to keep from people from discovering, or whatever it is we figure out together, is what revolves around. And that's a big part of the world down there. And what even the good spirits that you encounter down there, they're afraid. They tell you they're afraid of the being and the things that are down there as well. So it isn't just me picking up on negative stuff. It's the spirits there voicing the other negative energy that they don't even want to be any part of. So yeah.
Gotcha. Now, we're talking about like the physical and the spiritual aspect of this. Okay, so we know that the door is physically blocked off and sealed. Do you think it was also spiritually sealed off as well?
Yeah, that's the sad part, that it's not a bad, it's I feel like I'm gonna help them break free. There was an old woman that said thank you in advance. Basically, I almost cried. She came through and told me thank, because I was talking about what I was going to do, and I was going to set them free, and an old woman came through and said thank you. So I think that physically, whether it was through like a curse or whatever, I think just the act itself was all that was needed to spiritually imprison whatever the negative things that were happening or took place created. It's just like, somebody gets murdered or something, it can be so extreme that it can rip the fabric in what we consider normal, and create portals and allow things to come and go. And that's what I feel could happen, or could have happened, just with the whole experience of sealing that door and hiding something so negative or so bad that it has to be kept, or it can destroy what that evil set out to do. You know what I mean? Because if it is a big secret, or if it is you never know. It could be money, or if it was a body or something, it was meant to never be found, and that will destroy whoever put that there. And not even spiritually, it's going to turn into something totally different. The information we find, so yeah.
No, I'm following you. And when you look at like all the evidence, because like when you're trying to figure out the door stuff, there's just evidence and activity everywhere. And when you got the people inside the building and stuff, how do you help them decide whether or not something's like an intelligent response or like a residual activity?
Well, in real time, I let the experience do that for me. I mean, most of the time, when somebody's around and they get a voice, whether it be hello or leave or whatever, you can almost feel the energy that's creating that voice. And it then creates an experience. And I have never not walked away from any session or seance and not have even myself talking about the experience that we just had, in such a way that it was, if it had been the first time, it would have been life changing. So it's one of those things that that I really don't have to. I let the experience do the talking, or explain, or let them get the most out of the situation and the environment that way.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Now, oh my gosh. Okay, good thing I got this one. All right. It is, when you're talking to different spirits, you're trying to hear their story, their history, and a lot of the times we're actually like trying to make a consumable to them. So like if we know the spirits are like from the 1700s, 1800s, instead of flashlight, we're using words like flame or etc. Um, how does it feel to actually have an impact on the paranormal where you're actually having ghosts say your coined terms such as the whistler? Because normally they're just telling their own story, but they're using yours. How does that feel?
Well, it's really cool. But at the same time, I'm not a huge fan as far as being suggestive. I don't want to create a fabricated history, whether it's via a person or spiritual energy. So I mean, it's awesome, you know. I mean, it's really awesome. It just gives us something to make a connection and identify with the being that is doing all of it. So, on that sense, it's awesome. It's amazing. It's very intelligent, in that aspect. I've done lots of work and research in regards to how intelligent, spiritual energy can be. So, it doesn't surprise me anymore in that aspect, but it's very impressive. But I don't want the place to be anything suggestive. So there's a two sides of the coin. It's awesome. It's amazing that it's that intelligent. But that's what I see it. I've always seen it since the beginning, and recognized it as the Whistler, and even on a conscious level, it knew that that's what its name was. I don't know. I can't explain it, and it's on a level that very few people get to experience and have heard or have proof of. Just like I have captured down there. It's just I really don't know how to take it, if that makes sense, completely, because I'm conflicted when it comes to the whole suggestive. I don't want to include anything that wasn't already there, if that makes sense. I mean,
No.
yeah, it's just the name, but I want the name of the before. What was the Whistler's name? I just did that just to have something to call it. I didn't, and every time I ask what the name of the Whistler is, it tells me you already know, or we've told you. So I don't know if it's something that a different language or a name that I'm not familiar with, but I've listened and listened and listened, but it tells me that it's told me. So I don't know. Maybe it is the Whistler. Maybe they told me it was the Whistler, and then that's it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm conflicted when it comes to that.
So tell us, because this is number 13. You've garnered such a beautiful community and a big community excited to go to this location. What's your one message to the paranormal community that you've garnered over the last few years?
Appreciate what other people have to offer and what they can bring to the table. I hear and see so much hate, and I've been consumed by it in the past, but I don't let it bother me anymore. But I think that, I appreciate, I learn so much from people that are way different than me, and what I that's what I appreciate, and that's what makes me the person that I am, is what other people teach me, and I do a lot of stuff. I've tried to do the best I can at teaching people and giving back, but there's things that I can't, it's priceless, the stuff that I've learned from other people and other investigators. And once you accept that everybody's different and everybody comes from a different walk of life, and everybody can bring something different to the table, then life is good after that. Things get better, and it's you can work together finally. You can kind of put one foot in front of the other together versus fighting the journey. So I just think we all should be in tune with each other more, is all.
I like that a lot. All right, my friend.
Yeah,
You've officially survived.
I've made it.
This section. Yes.
You made it.
I thought it was real good.
Yeah,
I thought it
yeah,
was
it
pretty
was
good.
awesome. I appreciate I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody that stopped in and took a chance to listen and learn a little bit about myself and the place that I'm trying to give back to everyone. And yeah, it's going to be amazing. We're all going to walk this road together. So yeah, it's going to be awesome.
That's what I like about your message. It's not just, I'm going to figure out the history, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. It's always stemming from this foundation of community. And this is our project. This is our passion project. This is what we're doing together. I think that speaks volumes of the individual that you are and the kind of community that you're trying to cultivate.
Most definitely. And guess what? I found another clip that I want to try and play. It is from Facebook, but this is from when it was my first trip out there, and we put the tripwires over the door.
Yeah, and I remember, if I remember correctly, you said that you had never had these light up at any location. Is that correct, Shawn?
So usually, there's only one other occasion where just one portion of the lights went off. That to me is just more validating when it does happen. So that's why I found it, worth mentioning that. It's usually when they go off, it's like those flashes that we saw in the first clip that I showed with the wires. So you'll kind of see here more where it goes off and where it's just individual sensors going off I think it's more as it's intended to work.
Yeah.
For me, the way it's worked. The only other time that it's worked where just one or two lights went off, it was as at another location, and I sit around the table and asked where it sits at, and those lights went off by the seat, and that was it. And so that this happening to me, it is very, very compelling.
And I took my phone and radio and was literally right by all these sensors that Shawn put up, and it didn't go off. I've had people ask me if my phone could have. I do believe that, we do emit. Some of our devices will emit enough energy to trigger these devices. But as far as we were concerned, this was something we couldn't explain with what we were using and capturing and how we went about it. So, it was amazing.
All right, so yeah, let me go ahead and play it, and hopefully this works. Here we go.
Oh, Amber was
Good
using that
try.
Whoa.
Make them all go off.
Go down the whole line. Each one has their own sensor. Yes, Amber was using an app for this. I don't usually use apps, but this is something that she, I guess, uses regularly. But it's just really cool interaction either way. But you guys can hear it, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Good try. Make them all go off.
Go down the whole line. Each one has their own sensor.
Come on, you were doing awesome. Do that again.
Yeah, I've never seen it do this before.
Start over. There you go.
Look at that.
Go all the way down. Keep going.
They're listening.
If that's not intelligent.
I know you are. You do great. Go all the way down. What's your name? Who's touching those lights?
Whoa. It did it.
Do you like those?
Yeah. So, yeah, I've never seen it go down the Strand like that before. That was my first time experiencing it. Granted, I don't use them on every investigation. I try to mix things up, but I've never seen it go down a line like that. I've always wanted to see it, and I didn't get to see it until being in the basement of this location.
And what's cool is, this that wasn't the last time you're going to be there. This is going to be a place that I feel like everybody is going to want to call home. And, it's just, I can't wait for other people to find spots in there and tell stories about, oh, I was in the that one room, Shawn, where me, you, and Amber felt like there had been, maybe bodies stored, or I felt like there, that room, like, because that's a room that I haven't or wanted to go in and post up and do a session, but somebody else might go in there and, but there's reasons why I haven't, and
I went in that room and I didn't like the way it felt, so I turned around and walked out. Do you remember that?
Every single person that goes in that room says the same thing. They're like, I'm out of here. So yeah, I want everybody to have their own piece of that place, and I think they will. And it's gonna be cool.
Sounds like a room where Brian needs to be blindfolded and left alone in.
Yeah, definitely. Well, wait until I'm actually eventually I want to put deprivation tanks down there.
Ooh.
Yeah, and do some like sensory, all kinds of different stuff that I want to do. But one thing at a time. Let's get people there, and we'll start the adventure together.
Right, get people in there to raise the money. We can continue. I did kind of bring up some photos too that I'm still in the middle of uploading here. This building, he has done a lot of cleanup to it, and he's done a lot of work, but it still needs more. I remember the first time I was there was a gas leak, and you got that taken care of.
Yeah.
And it's just like things like that, though. None of it's free, none of it's cheap.
Yeah, it's definitely not. But we can make it work as long as I felt like the building will pay for itself. We want to be able to do some upkeep to the place and maintain it. It's a beautiful building. What better way than to let the paranormal community help with that? Let's put the life back into this place and experience it, because if we didn't do anything in 10, 15 years, this building will be gone, so now in 15, 20 years, we'll have a new roof. We'll have, anything that will benefit us from keeping it longer will be part of the maintenance of this place. And we're all going to do it together, and that's what it's all about.
Definitely. Now, you posted some before and after pictures. Here's a before picture. You can see the installation on the ground. You can see all sorts of things all over the place, and they straightened it up, added a table, chairs.
And actually, that's the area that the ceiling's actually going to get the insulation and sound, like they're professional soundboards that are in studios and stuff. They're 4x4 sections. They're really gonna make a difference. It isn't that anyways, but it's gonna be awesome. I don't know a lot of people that do that, but I'm trying to, I eventually want to put but that's the main area where we hear all the walking and the stuff being thrown and the scratching. You remember that area?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You could see just the size of this space.
Yep. And it was a mess. I'm not gonna lie. Like you've seen, this was 2 days ago. And this is the actual ballroom area that you just clicked on, and then now it's we got everything up finally today. And
this area here, there was definitely a lot more stuff here. You can definitely see. I wish you got a before and after of this, because there was a lot of stuff here that you got done. And it's just the now next is going to be, more, with bringing the teams in, raising that money for the repairs.
Right.
Yeah.
Glory. And I just have to end with this picture because this is awesome. This is from the seance room with the REM pod lit up and with a couple haunted dolls here.
Yep. Those that doll right there on the end, actually. See, I do have legitimate haunted objects. I am one of the world's I'm only a handful of scry mirror makers that have the ability to create objects that hold energy that are just wicked, and a lot of those objects, the majority of those objects, the ones that aren't out being researched in other areas of the country, are in this place. So not only do individuals have access to the energy that's there, besides, I have a museum, will be a museum, more or less. It's in the seance room. There's going to be objects and mirrors that are basically portable haunted houses. You could put one of those in any area, and that area would be full of just crazy energy, and that whole room, that location is going to have things that people can research other than the location itself. So,
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, you sure can.
Create a room where investigators can be completely alone with the haunted objects.
Like, what do you mean? Like
how you turn one of the old bathrooms into a seance room?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the room next to it that was the other men's bathroom.
Yeah.
Maybe put a table on there, a desk or something, where you can put the haunted object and you can just have an area that's just dedicated to researching the haunted objects.
Well, so okay, then that's a plan. That's what I'll do then.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one thing, because there's another place I went to that had a haunted object, and I still need to get back there, and I need to be alone with one of the things that they had there so I can understand more of what I experienced.
I actually, one of the things that I want to do there is build a clean room, and with flow hoods and stuff, like laminar flow hoods that eliminate 99.9 down to like the micron, where there's absolutely no dust, and there'll be specific ways. I've worked a lot with building clean rooms and working around these things, so I have a little bit of knowledge to where we could study anomalies. We could eliminate bugs, dust, and everything, and build like my own specific little room where there would literally be no dust or anything, that we could just eliminate everything natural in an area where there are anomalies being recorded, if that makes sense. A lot of things. I'm actually going to build probably the world's largest scrying mirror. I just got a 4x8, but I'm going to make an entire wall a black mirror in the basement.
In the basement too. Okay.
Yeah, that is going to be for sure. I'm already starting that. I already got the mirrors and everything for that.
Wow.
But it's definitely an entire wall in one of the most haunted areas I've ever been is going to be scrying mirror. So, and it's going to be one of my scrying mirrors, and it's just going to be crazy. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I have one of your mirrors, and yeah, his mirrors aren't a joke. I attempted to clean it, and I thought it was cleaned, and I'm questioning that now. But that's a whole other conversation for another time.
It is.
Now, with that, how did you find this location, and what exactly is your role? Like, are you owner? Are you partnership? How?
I'm a partner.
Okay.
I'm partnered with two people that are co-owners of the place. And I run it, they have other things that they take care of and deal with. And, this was a godsend for them too, with COVID and everything, a lot of these places that were already having issues keeping people in, especially in the areas, because there are other places that you can rent and put a company in that would probably be in a better location, not to put it down, but issues like that create problems for people. And, it just worked out the way everything happened for everybody, because, it's just, it was meant to happen, it was, it's going to save this place,
Right.
and
Well, nothing was happening with the building, right? It was just sitting there empty, except
right.
for the resident that lived there. And
Well, this is what happened. I was driving by like I did every day, and I saw who I thought was the owner outside mowing the lot next door. Well, I did a U-E in the street, and I pulled up behind her while she was mowing, and literally within 5 minutes, she wasn't even off her mower, and the mower was not done, like turned off. She was crying with tears of joy, literally crying. She was trying to get off her lawnmower to hug me because of what I told her. I literally, in like 2-3 minutes, told her what I wanted to do with the place, and I hadn't even been in there yet. And like immediately, she gave me permission to go in and check it out. Like, so I ran home real quick, grabbed my radio, and within 10 minutes of doing a U-turn, I'm inside this place that I've lived by for a long time and have an amazing paranormal experience almost immediately. This lady, she trusted me. I couldn't ask for better. I mean, the whole experience, the people that I'm partnered with are some of the most amazing people and have done some amazing things for just me, and I couldn't have asked for a better situation, and how it played out for everybody involved, and how it's going to play out for everybody that's coming here. It's just, I am extremely grateful, and I can't say it enough. It's just how everything worked out was just something out of like, something that ain't real. You can't, it's just cool. It's crazy how it all worked out.
It's hard to describe the paranormal as a fairy tale, but like this is the closest paranormal fairy tale.
Some of the things that happen, it's not coincidence. I've learned throughout my everything that I've done and learned throughout, all this stuff, throughout, since day one, has taught me to look at things totally different and never expect things to be a coincidence, because it is far from it. And how things work out, like they were completely meant to be. And it's not just us saving it. Maybe it's going to save us too, and put different perspectives in our lives and change how we pursue our future. I don't know. We'll see how it works out, but I know it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, hey guys, don't forget, mention the show when you book your investigation, and you will save $50, which is amazing. And I mean, the cost for the investigations here, I mean, it's definitely very reasonable. It's $275 for a weekday investigation, $375 for the weekends.
Yep. And this is going to be the rate until March 1st when we actually open, and then it goes up to the normal rate. That's a $25 savings in the picture right there. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, it's originally $400 for weekend nights, but in this flyer here that we're looking at, you save $25. So you're going to save $25 on any day that you take all the way up until March 1st if you book before then. And then after March 1st, it's just going to go up $25 higher than what you see on this flyer to the normal rate.
Okay, so then you get another $25 off along with this flyer.
Yep. So it's so either way you're going to save money. So.
Right. So you'll be looking at $250 if you mention our show.
Yep.
And you get to experience a really cool place that hasn't been investigated.
And then if you don't, and you just book before March, you don't even have to say anything, and you're going to still save $25.
Right.
Yep.
Nice. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. No one. I know very, very few people in the paranormal that are rich and that have money just to throw around, and any savings definitely helps. especially when you're trying to create your paranormal adventure and find the answers that you're looking for. So,
I'm going to try and do like a referral program for like groups that come in and, just give them a piece of the pot, or take the credit and put it towards an investigation, or something eventually, and try to make it like any other business would be, because that's what it is, and make them, give them what they deserve, you refer somebody here. I mean, that's part of you too, so I want that to be,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so I haven't figured that out yet, but when I do get it figured out, I will definitely be sharing that with everybody.
That's awesome. Sounds like you have some. So yeah, it sounds like you have some amazing plans for this place. I mean, I really do hope the very best, and I know people are going to love this place. It just always going to these places with an open mind. And Brian and I, like I said, we were on investigation last night, and one of the things that they said is, we really hope that tonight is an active night for you guys. And, I like the honesty that they had there, because that's definitely true. You can go to a location and have it be completely quiet. It doesn't mean it's not haunted. It doesn't mean that you were ripped off. It means that it was a quiet night. And it's just the way the paranormal is. Any seasoned investigator really knows and understands that. But that is something that's I feel important for people to keep in mind. Because it takes energy. It all takes energy, and we don't always have energy to do the things that we want to do, and we're alive. So,
yep, that's right.
All right, guys. Well, with that, we are past our time, guys. Definitely, dude, Jason, thank you so much for coming on and sharing this with us. Thank you so much for making our show a big part of the coming out party. I'm sorry.
It's my pleasure, man.
Yeah, man, this is awesome, dude. And guys, don't forget to mention the show, save some more money. How real quick, as we're going out, guys, I'm going to let Jason finish out by reminding you guys how to find him, how to book the reservation, and then I'm going to go straight to our RU Media commercial and then to our outro.
All right.
So, guys,
first off,
so much. Yep. We will see you guys on our next show. Go ahead,
Brian. It was nice meeting you. Shawn, I will talk to you later. Everyone, right now, just if you want to book the place, you can contact me directly on my profile, or if you can't find me, you can get in touch with Shawn, or Brian could probably point you in the right direction, or you can hit me up on facebook.com/Paranormal Den. That's my group page, but I will have an official page up here soon. But for right now, just message me directly and I will take care of you. Right then and there. And I'll give you a email confirmation with everything we discuss and what we're going to be doing in the future.
Awesome. Thank you again, Jason. Guys, don't forget to reach out. You guys do not want to miss out on this location. It's going to be around for a while, so I guess you won't be missing, but it's just so special to be a part of the opening and finding the new answers and exploring such a new location. So right now, this is where the getting's good, guys. All right, guys, I know I said I was going to talk, but here I am talking. So everyone, have a great week. We will see you guys on our next show, and everyone stay safe, be healthy, and
good night, guys.
Good night.
If you can dream it, you can stream it. With a full production studio at your fingertips.
Presto! Watch me how I do it now. Presto!
Presto! Connect up to 9 iOS devices and edit live. Presto! With multiple camera angles and professional graphics.
Got all eyes on me, everybody talking whoa. Cause everything I do, I got them saying whoa.
Interact with your viewers and show live comments. And invite remote guests from all over the world.
Spinning around, dropping it low. Ooh la la, ooh la, ta-da, presto. Here's what I got, ready or not.
Share it everywhere.
How I do it now. Presto. That's how I do it. Presto.
Even sell live. Shopify users can integrate their collections and use Carter to sell products during their Facebook Lives.
I make it look so easy just like that, presto. I got you buzzing, feeling this and saying whoa.
All on iPhones and iPads.
Presto.
Try your free trial at switcherstudio.com today.
This paranormal adventure that we're all on, it connects us. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast with your host, Shawn Gilmore.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 10 years.
He was featured on the TV show Paranormal Survivor that airs on Travel Channel.
His passion is creating para-unity.
With your host, Brian Mersall.
He's worked in the paranormal field for 7 years.
He leads his own paranormal team.
He wants to help people start their paranormal adventure or grow their existing one. This is our paranormal adventure. This is our paranormal community. This is our paranormal podcast.
It's about supporting. It's about making para-unity a real thing, because we all need to support each other within our community, and that's what the show has always been about.